All right, y'all. So I am recording a few videos on how to solve systems of equations, and this is how to solve a system of equations using elimination. So here we go. I want an elimination to eliminate one of the variables, right? I want to cross out either the x or the y. So let's look at this system that we have here. We have these two equations. And I noticed something real quick. I noticed that, hey, I have a negative 3y and a positive 3. That's my cat. That's my cat. I have a negative 3y and a positive 3y. Check it out. If I add those together, Grace, come on. If I add those together, they're going to cancel each other out, right? So that's exactly what I'm going to do because I want to eliminate, right? So I'm going to add the top equation, and I'm going to add everything in the top equation to everything in the bottom equation, right? So let's do this real quick. Negative 5x plus 3x, that gets me negative 2x. Negative 3y plus 3y, I have 3 negative y's, 3 positive y's, they come together, they cancel each other out, so that is nothing. And then equals 18 plus negative 6, which gets me to 12? Is that right? I think that's right. I think that's right. Okay, so I just have negative 2x equals 12, right? Let me write that again down here. Negative 2x equals 12. Now, all I need to do, y'all, is solve for the x. Get the x by itself, right? So I have negative 2 times x. I want to get the negative 2 onto the other side. So what is the opposite of times? If you are saying divide, you are exactly right. So I'm going to divide both sides by negative 2. And that leaves me with x equals 12 divided by negative 2 is negative 6. Booyah. Okay, so now that I have x, I need to go find y. Because remember, with a system of equations, you're going to have at least 2 solutions, right? Because we want an x and we want a y. So if I know that x equals negative 6, how can I go find y? What am I gonna do? Let me erase those circles so we can look back at our equations. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this x equals negative 6 and I'm gonna plug that in either for this x right here or for that x right there. It does not matter which equation I use. I'm going to use the second equation, the 3x plus 3y equals negative 6, just because it doesn't have so many negative numbers, because I know that sometimes the negative numbers well, they mess me up a little bit. So I'm going to take that, this one right here, this 3x plus 3y. So I have 3x plus 3y equals negative 6. But just like I said, I'm going to, instead of x, I'm going to plug that negative 6 in for x, because I know that x is equal to negative 6. So I'm going to say 3 times negative 6 plus 3y equals negative 6. Okay, so now what I want to do is just solve for the y. Get the y by itself. It's gonna be so fun. Let's do some multiplication here, y'all. What is 3 times negative 6? Boop, 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 boop. Negative 18. And then bring down that plus 3y equals negative 6. So just as a reminder, when we're solving equations, we're using our order of operations, but we're going backwards, right? So I want to start with the addition and subtraction first. So here's my y. So what is being added or subtracted to the y? This negative 18 is being added or subtracted, and then that 3 is being multiplied. So I want to deal with the negative 18 first. So how do I move the negative 18 over to the other side to be with its friend negative 6? What is the opposite of negative 18? Hopefully you are saying positive 18. So I'm going to add 18 on both sides. So those go away. And what I am left with is 3y equals, and then negative 6 plus 18 is 12. Okay, so now I'm to the multiplication and division part. I've got 3 times y. What is the opposite of times? The opposite of multiplication? That is division. So I'm going to divide both sides by 3. Oh, I missed it. So those 3's go away, and then I have 12 divided by 3 is 4. So I've solved for my y. Okay, so I know that x equals -6, y equals 4. In order to write them in a mathematically appropriate answer, I'm going to put them as an ordered pair. So the x comes first, so it's going to be -6. Then y comes next, that was 4. There's my ordered pair. And shablam! That is the very basic solving a system of equations with elimination. Sometimes, let me go back up here. Sometimes in order to eliminate one of the variables, you might need to subtract 2 equations instead of adding 2 equations. You just want to do whatever needs to happen in order to eliminate one of the variables, right? Okay, that's elimination. Ta-da!